up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. Now, no news in regards to GVK. That is still coming out in May 2021. Just keep that there. There's nothing new that comes from that. But there is news regarding Godzilla and collectibles, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, let me introduce you to my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show, G73, a.k.a. Megsy, a.k.a. my brother Chase. How's it going, bro?
Man, it's going all right. Just, hanging in like everyone else.
That's right. So, as of this recording today, July 15th, there has been news from Neca. And my brother Chase has sent me this link. He put it in the G Show group chat, the Godzilla Block Party group chat. And NECA's official statement reads, "Important, last chance to buy Godzilla. Come mid-August, we will no longer be selling Godzilla merchandise. This will be your last opportunity to purchase NECA-branded Godzilla product. Once these are gone, they are gone. All orders will be accepted in order on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. All Godzilla items in stock are listed below if you have a backup order for any item." Let me tell you something, brother. That's freaking big. That is huge, okay? Considering NECA, for the most part, at least on my end, puts out quality material for a decent price. That's at least from my perspective. I'm not the giant toy collector, but I know that the NECA figures that I own, I absolutely adore, and they're still in the box. That's how much I like them. I haven't taken them out yet, because I'm pretty sure if I took them out, I would notice some of those things that you have gripes with. But let me ask you, brother, we did talk about this a couple podcasts ago. Briefly, we talked about NECA maybe losing the rights or whatever. But what do you think? Do you think they lost the rights to Godzilla, or they just gave up and didn't want to re-sign?
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's just they lost it. Like I said, I don't think the figures were selling well. Due to the quality of them and the price of them. I just don't, and also they were only making limited amounts of them, and I think it was because of that reason, they just weren't selling off the shelves. I don't think it's NECA gave up. Out of all of the things right now to give up, it shouldn't be your Godzilla license. I think basically just, I think someone came along and just took the rights from them. It's one thing. It's one thing to not have your rights for Godzilla versus Kong, but to lose all of your Godzilla rights. They're not doing anything anymore for the foreseeable future. That's you lost it. You lost those rights
for the foreseeable future, bro. This looks like they are done completely. Like no more NECA. Like it's over. And
well, they're still on their page. They're still talking about they're doing toys, but
not Godzilla stuff though.
But just not Godzilla stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like they're
this
done.
Is a statement, and see, this is where I'm trying to kind of wrap my hand around this. It's true, warned that this was coming back in March. Sadly, the collector's market will be ignored in the U.S. for the foreseeable future. So, with that statement, with the foreseeable future, I don't know, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it sounds like they're just blaming it on the market as a toy collector as a whole. Now, I don't know if that's really fair. Mattel, with their Jurassic line and all the toys they're doing, are doing great. They don't have Godzilla figures, but that's where I'm confused. They're basically the only ones right now doing Godzilla figures. They are the only ones basically doing Godzilla figures, unless you talk about Playmates and theirs. But they're not canceling their shop. So I don't know what NECA is trying to say with that statement. Sadly, the collector's market will be ignored in the U.S. for the foreseeable future. I don't know what that exactly entails or means. Like I said, I don't really like that wording, just like almost everything else NECA does. But I don't think if they're going to blame it on that, I think they're overseeing it. I honestly think, like I said, they lost their rights. Toho came to them and was like, look, your sales are down. Your figures are crap. It's time to look for someone else. And here comes Playmates. Playmates is doing a whole bunch of stuff, so... but the thing is I don't know if that means Playmates is taking over the Godzilla line permanently now, or just temporarily, or is something else coming, or someone else is coming along to snag it. We do know Playmates has the Godzilla versus Kong figures coming out. As far as of right now, of course, it would be probably very doubtful they cancel that.
Yeah, they're not canceling that.
Yeah, that too much money put into that,
right? And we know that those figures are already done. I mean, we saw the prototypes. We saw what they showed at those toy fairs.
They were supposed to be coming out in like a few weeks before November,
right? It was going to be soon.
So now they're going to be sitting in a warehouse somewhere collecting dust until the movie drops in May, if that even happens. Well, we won't talk about that yet. But so I don't know, man. I think honestly, in my opinion of what NECA said, I think you need to take some responsibility. Our figures weren't doing well. We don't know we weren't putting the quality and effort into our figures, and that's why we lost the license. So don't blame it on just the market as a whole. If that's what that statement was saying, because I'm not alone in the group of people that feel like these figures were lackluster.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I totally get where you're coming from. I'm going to disagree with you though. And again, I'm not. The way I read that when they say the collector market, or however they put that wordage, if you really look at those NECA figures, they're not quote unquote toys. You know what I'm saying? They're not like what Jakks Pacific is or what Playmates are now. Those are toys. You know what I mean? The NECA figures, they come... Hell, even the Bandai US, those are toys. You see them in Walmart or Target, and I mean, you can touch the figure right then and there. They're in a small little cardboard box that, you know what I mean, that once you pay for it, you can just rip it right out. Whereas with the NECA figures, though, those are collector's items. Regardless on what you might think of the quality or what you might think of NECA, those are collector's items. They come in beautiful boxes. I mean, when you could get the poster art from the movies on your boxes, I absolutely love that stuff. Like, honestly, dude, well, first, because of all this news, I'm running to Target tomorrow to see if they got Biollante, that Biollante paint one. I'm going to pick that up. $24, $25. I'm going to pick that up. I might even, if they have the Kiru Saga Godzilla, I might get both of them just because,
Yeah. But I think when I get paid, I'll probably pick up this Atomic Blast of the 2019 figure at this shop in my street just to have it because it's the last one.
Right, and that's and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're more collector items than than they are toys. Now, granted, like, for the price that they are, right? I think you get the bang for your buck. They're not like SH Monster Arts figures that are very articulate and you can do a lot of fun stuff with it if you have the time and the patience with, right? But for the most part, they have more articulation than the Bandais, than the Jakks Pacifics, and the Playmates, And in that regard, that gets a thumbs up from me, So when they say the collector market, in terms of Godzilla stuff, maybe they, like you said, maybe they're not selling the way they want to. And I'll be honest, like, before the world went to hell, I was watching a lot of Toy Fair videos on YouTube and stuff, and a lot of the NECA stuff. And you can see, like, their focus, and as much as we probably get mad at it being Godzilla fans, but their focus basically did not seem to be on Godzilla the way their focus would be on, like, the American brands, like horror, for instance, or Predator and Aliens. Hey, look, we got the old Kenner line Aliens figures. We're gonna put them back out in the original Kenner box art. Like, that's fucking dope. I used to have those Kenner alien figures. Me and my brother, we used to go to Toys R Us and scoop them up, like, because they were just cool looking figures, right? And it's aliens. Like, come on, man. A dope ass xenomorph gorilla, give it to me. The Queen, give it to me. A scorpion xenomorph that, you know, blows apart when you press a button in its back, give it to me. We love that stuff. Like, absolutely loved it. And like, we would take it out the box. We wouldn't even play. We would play with it for like 2 minutes and then just like set them up on a shelf just because they looked cool, you know? So NECA looking forward to things like that. Make no mistake about it, NECA is absolutely crushing the Ninja Turtles right now. From the movie line, from the original cartoon line to the arcade line. Like, they are crushing Ninja Turtles right now. They just put out some shit, the Ninja Turtles rock and roll stage show that they did crazy shit in the early 90s. I'm blown away. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're putting that out? So their focus is on a lot of that. And if you look at those sculpts too, they're really, really good. Like, they really pay attention. Whereas, and this is where I do agree with you. When you look at what they could do with like Ninja Turtles or Gremlins, for example, like the Gremlins look fantastic.
The Gremlins figures look really good.
Why can't you put that type of quality into Godzilla? And the only thing I can think of is the market isn't saturated with G fans like us wanting to collect that stuff. You know what I mean? So they're not going to put that much effort into those molds and really give you this. And I'm not saying that they don't go out of their way to do this, you know, on purpose. But I'm just saying that they're probably like, all right, we really don't need to go crazy with these molds here when, you know, Gremlins sell more than Godzilla. So let's take, for instance, if we were like sculptors, let's take Chase and G1. Let's go over here and let's bring them over there and let them handle, you know, the Gremlins and the Ninja Turtles, and we'll leave, like, you know, Joe Schmo doing the Godzilla stuff. It's an unfortunate business model, but it makes sense because in that regard, they could save a little bit of money, you know? But now we are where we are, and NECA is apparently no longer making Godzilla product, and that's crazy. I guess that's why we didn't get a King Ghidorah, you know, from King of the Monsters, because they probably saw this one coming.
Maybe if they did do King Ghidorah, they may still be in business.
Yeah, right. But and so that's like the only thing. Like, they are more in my estimation, the way I look at it. Those Godzilla figures they were dropping, those were more collectibles than, you know, toys. Like, dude, I mean, you know, I joked about the Playmate Shin Godzilla. Dude, I'm not playing when I tell you I would buy that shit just because it looks like a piece of shit. And it just cracks me up how goofy that thing looks, that it becomes a novelty. And, like, now I want it, you know? Like,
you like have it on a desk in your garage holding a sign saying, we're doing our best.
Right, just like, so, like, it's like a novelty act with that. But, you know, but then you take, like, the Playmates Destroyer, or, you know, whatever, Space Godzilla, you know, didn't they do like Gigan too? Like it was like pretty much the Bandai, you know, Final Wars version of Gigan.
Yeah, Playmates, yeah.
You know, but you take those are cool fucking figures, bro. Those are cool toys. Like, you know, Gigan really looks cool. But those are things you could totally just buy for your, you know, your favorite young Godzilla-loving family member, your nephew or niece, you know, your son or daughter, your granddaughter, grandson, you know, your younger brother or sister. You could buy that for them and let them play with it. But I wouldn't feel comfortable buying them a NECA figure. You know what I'm saying? Giving a NECA figure to a 5-year-old, and next thing you know, like, the tail's all warped and or lost. And no, that's not how you play with this. You know, like, you don't play it. You put it to the side. And I think that's what NECA was doing. It was more for the collectors. out there. And the unfortunate thing is, there are more people wanting to collect things. And again, and the reason why I say this is because I am those people. NECA is hitting me in my heartstrings right now, especially with those Ninja Turtle toys. Because, dude, when I was growing up, Playmates had Ninja Turtles, and I was a Ninja Turtle. Like, I was a fanboy. And Playmates had the Ninja Turtles, and that's all we had with the Playmate Ninja Turtles. And they didn't look like the cartoon, like the Ninja Turtles didn't. But, like, Leatherhead, for instance, the alligator, he kind of looked like the cartoon. Rat King kind of looked like the cartoon. Splinter looked kind of like the cartoon a bit. April O'Neil looked like the cartoon. The Foot Soldier looked like the cartoon. Rocksteady and Bebop. But the Ninja Turtles didn't look nothing like the cartoon at all. You know? They were more akin to the comic book counterparts at the time, the Mirage original versions. So now that NECA is actually putting out these cartoon accurate things, bro, my mind is blown. Like, dude, I can't lie. If I walked into stores, and this is a Godzilla Block Party podcast, but if I walked into a Target and they had all 4 Ninja Turtles, right, the cartoon version, for like, let's say $65, and then they had, you know, the NECA Godzilla stuff for like $25 a piece, I'm going to buy the Ninja Turtle ones. I absolutely am, because they are accurate, and that is what I wanted as a kid, and now as an adult. And I'm not gonna play with those things. Those things aren't meant to be played with. Those are collectibles, man. Those are for collectors. And you put those on your shelf. You put those on your little trophy case next to the Godzilla shit you already have, and bam, it just looks pretty. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you showcase that, and again, that's me, dude, because it's my age range, you know, it's my group, it's that generation, and NECA is nailing it when it comes to things like that. Again, the Gremlins thing blew my head. I was like, oh my god, this is NECA? Why can't they do this with Godzilla? It kills me. And what really kills me is that podcast we had a couple weeks back, couple of podcasts ago, when we were talking about NECA and, you know, are they losing everything? And, you know, remember, we were coming up with ideas on how could NECA save themselves and what they can possibly do. And I threw out there, look at what they're doing with the Ninja Turtles. They're putting them together in like 2-packs, 3-packs. Why can't we do that with Godzilla? Dude, are you kidding me? I wish I could get a 70s version of Godzilla from NECA. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Legit. Whether it was the Smog Monster, whether it was Megalon Gigan, whether it was the Mechagodzilla, it would probably be more the Mechagodzilla version. But I would love to get a NECA version of those Godzillas, the superhero Godzilla, if you will, from the 70s. You know what I'm saying? And now we're never going to get that stuff. And honestly, like, Bandai has this cool 74 Godzilla coming out that I was like, wow, look at this thing. But again, Bandai is not very posable, you know what I mean? It's like 4 points of articulation, maybe 5, and that's the arms and the legs and maybe the head, maybe the tail, 6 points. But
yeah, Bandai usually is just a mold,
right,
with joints,
and it looks good. It looks good. I mean, I've been seeing it pop up all over, you know, all my social media spots that I hit. Hell, it's even popped up on my Google, which I was like, holy crap, this is dope. Like, it popped up on Google, and again, it looks dope. It does, but like, I wish like NECA would have done something like that, to have the articulation, to be able to move the arms around a little bit more, you know, like just to make it, to pose the damn thing. But we will never get that now. We will only have, you know, a lot of repaints, you know what I'm saying? A lot of legendary Godzilla repaints. Like, but how many times are we going to get 84 repainted, you know, or redone? Yeah, you know what I mean? But
you know, and it's funny, you know, talking about all that, to seeing where NECA started with Godzilla to how they are ending now.
Let me ask you that. You know what? You would know that. I don't know. What was their first Godzilla figure? What was it? Do you know?
I believe their first Godzilla figure was the Space Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
But I think that was, if that's correct, that's what Andrew said.
Okay.
a while back. I think that was the first figure, though. I think that's what he said it was.
If he said it, I believe it, because Gam Gam knows his figures.
Right. That rings the bell to me. But no, just thinking like there's more repaints than a variety of figures and monsters than anything, and that's just mind-boggling to me thinking about it now. Like if it was like Kenner or Trendmasters, there'd be figures all over the place.
Dude, you nailed it. Trendmasters. Think about that. Think about Trendmasters, for instance, okay? When Trendmasters was coming out, my head was blown. I said, what the hell is going on? What? Because at this point in time, I didn't know about, Mecha King Ghidorah. I didn't have access to any of this stuff. This was all Japan shit. So, at that time, I was a teenager who, I don't think we had the computer yet. Like, I don't think I had a computer yet. And even if I did, I didn't know, how to go about looking for Godzilla stuff. That wasn't, a thing. Oh, you got a computer. What's the first thing I want to do? Get on AIM and go in some random room chats and probably talking to, 60-year-old pedophiles. I don't know, it was that was the thing to do back then. It wasn't until, I don't know what I came up. It probably was because of those Trendmaster toys that I looked up Godzilla stuff and I saw Heisei Godzilla. I mean, I knew about Biollante. That Biollante was out before the damn internet, in my house at least, right? So I knew about Biollante, but I didn't know they continued anything. And Trendmasters is what, I was like, what the hell? Garuda, I was like, what the fuck is this flying thing? Whoa, look at this mecha. Everything was just making me crazy. I had no clue what was going on. None. I have a Rodan, and I have a Space Godzilla, and I have a Godzilla from Space Godzilla, I think. Well, I guess it was the default Heisei Godzilla Trendmaster said. You press the little button in their chest, and they would roar. I loved it, bro. Absolutely loved it. I still have them. They're somewhere. They're in a bin somewhere. They should be out on a shelf, collecting dust the right way. But unfortunately, they're not. But that right there, that's a really good point with the Trendmasters. I went off on a tangent. What I wanted to talk about is what you just said. Trendmasters was putting out other monsters. Why wasn't NECA doing that? Why were they not having a line? Instead of doing all these damn repaints of Godzilla, I mean, what did they have? Space Godzilla? That was the only other NECA figure?
I don't think NECA has Space Godzilla.
Look at that.
I actually think the only non-licensed Godzilla figures that are non-Godzilla figures, I know that we have Mothra from King of the Monsters, and we have Rodan from King of the Monsters, but I don't know what else NECA has that's not Godzilla.
And that's where I think they dropped the ball, because honestly, again, Toho has a very big kaiju roster. And if NECA could have gotten their hands on some of that, give me a legit Rodan 56, you know what I mean? Hell, give me a legit Rodan from every era. I would have bought them all. I would have had more Rodans than Godzilla's. True story, I'm not making that up. And just things like that. Good Lord, could you imagine the Gargantuas? In a heartbeat, I want something like that. Nobody ever makes a Varon toy except for Bandai. Somebody make a Varon toy, please, or collectible, please. And I get it. Maybe definitely Varon is not the type of kaiju that is going to sell, because nobody knows what that is outside of the fandom. So then what you do there, NECA, then you make a very limited amount and you sell them for $50. I'm pretty sure the collectors will come and collect, But again, I don't know nothing about business. I don't. And especially the toy business and the figurine business. All I know is that some companies put out some really good stuff and some companies have Shin Godzilla from Playmates.
That's what I was going to say. The other monster they did that was not Godzilla was Shin Godzilla.
Good call. Good call. But let me ask you: Did NECA or was it SH Monster Arts have the Pacific Rim line, or was it both?
NECA did Pacific Rim figures, I believe.
Those were cool looking figures, man. If they, my goodness. You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm kind of kicking myself. I'm gonna have to go and look for this stuff. I'm gonna have to go back to work because I'm getting paid again, though. I would love to have me a Cherno Alpha figure. Like I really do. I love. That's my favorite Jaeger. Cherno Alpha, baby. Cherno Alpha. And no, I'm not a Russian spy. Trust me when I tell you this. I just love Cherno Alpha. It was like my favorite Jaeger in both Pacific Rim movies and one of my favorite mechs in just cinema. Period. But I love that design. It just looks like it could kick some ass. But yeah, man, I would totally buy one of those. But that's what I'm saying. Like those things look cool. I remember like Leatherback and Itachi. What the fuck was it?
Itachi.
Itachi. Like those were dope looking figures. The paint jobs were cool as shit too. Like good lord, what's going on? And I'll tell you, it's because those things were having theatrical releases in America, and they were more recognizable because of the spotlight they were put, on. And again, and you think about that, like, why are there so many legendary Godzilla versions from NECA? Why? Because there's a spotlight thrusted on those, on the legendary universe, on the Monsterverse, and that's unfortunate because there are so many kaiju in general that you can play with, like you can just use and make models and figures and collectibles. Good lord, so give me King Caesar again. Rodan, I'd have bought them all up. Hell, give me every version of Mothra. I would have loved to see a version of Mothra from GMK. I like that version. I really do. It just looks like a damn toy in the movie, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me get that with the skinny legs, you know what I mean? It's just it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Hey, at least we got NECA Kong coming, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm so down for that 33 looking version of Kong from NECA. I am with it. You know I am. I'm gonna get that one. But yeah, I think this right here, man, you're gonna have to run to your local Targets and Walmarts or wherever you're.
And I bet you that's what's exactly is gonna happen. People are gonna go out in droves now to get these last collector edition Godzilla figures. So
yeah,
as much as money's tight for me right now, I'm probably gonna get me the Godzilla figure I want from NECA, since now I have basically no other choice. I mean, unless I pay $200 for the SH Monster Arts.
And see that right there, that right there is what kicks me in the balls, bro. And again, this is where Gam comes in, like, because he gets these things, like he's a collector, you know what I mean? Right. I have a couple, but like with SH Monster Arts, what do they do? Like limited runs? Like is that the reason why you charge so much money? Because yes, some of these things look dope, but like in all honesty, I would own Biollante absolutely if it wasn't $350 where I'm from, like where I see it. It's still on the shelf for $350. Dude, I'm gonna have to hit the lotto, or there's no lotto in Vegas, by the way. They don't do the lottery here. But I would have to hit a jackpot at the casino, and I'm not going to the casino right now because of what's going on in the world. But I mean, like $350, that's crazy.
Right.
Now,
well, luckily enough, I just bought an SH Monster Arts from Slideshow Collectibles or a Sideshow Collectibles.
What'd you buy?
It only I got me the 2019 SH Monster Arts, just the standard SH
Godzilla?
Monster Art. And it only cost me about $70, which was nice. But originally those were going like $80, only $100. They were doing a sale, and so I got it. And it was the last one they had in stock, and so I picked it up. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, but you see what I'm saying? Like with that, like with Godzilla, there's going to be an abundance of that. Because it's Godzilla, right? So they're going to make more of that. And they're not going to run up to $350, you know what I mean? But Biollante, like, did they make a limited amount? Was it like, only 6,000 worldwide? You know what I mean?
You know, it's the type of material they use, and I know the Biollante has a gimmick that if you can light it up, its chest.
Oh,
like the heart of the rose,
right?
I believe. And I know X Plus has one, but I've seen my buddy has a Biolante SH Monster Arts, and he hits his chest lights up.
Now you see,
but
Biolante's another one. You said the Rose, the one that's 350.
Also, it's huge as shit, too.
Yeah. That the damn final Biolante form is ridiculous, and I love that. And I would totally, again, this 350. I'm just like, that's a lot of money. But what if Neca would have done a Rose Biolante and used, the wire for the tentacles? Like old school toys used to have like those wire and then the plastic around the wire.
That's what I've been wondering for a long time, and that's what I've been saying with the whole King Ghidorah not getting a figure thing. Look, I don't need my figures to be scale with one another. I don't mind if they're the same size, if one's bigger than the other. I would love to have a Biolante figure where the tendrils are posable, and like with the chicken wire in it and stuff like that, the bendy wire.
Yeah.
I think that would be so smart and so cool to do that. Why not have someone do that? I believe I think Trendmasters did that for a bit, but theirs was like the Rose version with tendrils.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, Trendmasters had some weird Godzilla figures though. Like their Megalon had a strange look too. But no, that's one thing I wonder too. Like, and this is why, and it's actually cool because I've been wondering, like, what does this mean? Could this possibly mean in the future now that we could get a company that's going to take more care into these Godzilla figures and do more innovative stuff? Like, look, I mean, I honestly, I think, because Bandai is barely doing anything right now, I think if a company comes along and they're like, look, we're going to do Godzilla figures, that just doesn't mean Godzilla. We're doing, like, monsters of its toy line, even though, like, the market is not as big as the other average toys. The collectors, though, that like these figures will definitely get them. I mean, like, if there was a company that came out and said, we're doing a Mechagodzilla figure, a Rodan figure, a Gigan figure, a Hedorah figure, a Megalon figure, an Anguirus figure, know for sure people would be on those like crazy. I would love to see a Space Godzilla figure again,
Yeah. Not the one from Playmates.
Right, of course. But, I mean, I would like Bandai to come around and, like, change up their style. Instead of doing the molds, let's make them more articulated.
Dude, I would totally be down for that.
Now, I wouldn't mind paying, like, $10 more for the figure if it was articulated.
Right.
But yet again, I'm not a person that also cares about articulation. I know a lot of people do. I mean, like, because at the end of the day, the figure's going to stand on my shelf anyways. I'm not going to be touching it and moving it around, so it's not that big of a deal. But I do know there's people that like to pose it and move it and make sure it has all these other abilities that it can do to make it look the way they want in their vision. And I think that's fine. I mean, that's not a bad thing in my view, but, like, I'm also more simpler. So, but to have Bandai come along and make figures and the arms move or the necks move or the jaw hinges move, something like that, or the tails can, like, move in certain swivets, I think that would be great, and, like, what Bandai figures go about $12, $10 more. If I paid NECA price for a Bandai figure, then cool.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, to me, and that's why I like the NECA model. It not in terms of, like, what they sell these things for. The boxes alone to me is, like, worth the price of admission. It's just they put really. I love them. I gotta be honest. I love the poster covers and all that stuff. And again, I don't take them out. And if I did, like you, they would be on a shelf. But yeah, dude, if Bandai was to do something, I just think that the $25 to $30 price point is perfect for these type of Godzilla figures. I think it's just the perfect price point. The thing for me though was I didn't start collecting them until recently. I mean, I have the first NECA one I got for Christmas. My wife and child got it for me a couple years back, which was the the Nintendo Godzilla video game version. I love it. I love it. You have no idea. I used to drool over that damn thing whenever we went to the mall. There was a store in the mall, and I would go in there, and at that time I wasn't working, so I couldn't really spend any money. It didn't matter what it was. And you know when you go to certain mall stores, they jack the prices up about $20-$30. So this thing was like sitting there for like $70, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I was like, nah, I ain't fucking with you. But like, I loved that figure because the paint job, I used to play that Nintendo game all the time, and that's exactly what it looked like. Like, the paint job was sick.
The pixelated Godzilla.
Yeah, and I swear to God, man, one Christmas, man, I opened that up, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they got that for me. So that was the first NECA I owned, and it sits on top of my bookshelf. It was the first thing that went up on my bookshelves, and it sits there in all its gloriousness. The first NECA I bought personally was the King Kong versus Godzilla, and I bought it from my good friend JR. When his store, he worked at a store that sold the NECA stuff, and I bought it from them. And then
that was the last NECA figure I bought too.
Yeah, and the last two I bought was the Mothra and the GMK one. And
I mean, aside from my one Predator figure, I have basically only two NECA Godzilla figures, and one is the 2014, and the one is the 62.
And you know what's really crazy? Like, I'm not like, I don't want a 2014 figure. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't care about it. I don't want a legendary figure.
I have their big boy $70 big version of the 2014 figure. You just reminded me. So I have three actually total.
Yeah, I can't lie. I own, like, I don't know how much I paid for it, but the big Jack Pacific one, that's like
that's like $50.
Yeah, I got that, but I got that at a deep discount. Like, it was in Walmart in a clearance rack, and I was like, ha ha ha, clearance, I'll take it. I spent like next to nothing. I feel like I stole it. I didn't though, but it was that cheap. Like, you got away with this one. But like, as far as like the legendary Godzilla stuff goes, like, I just have no like want for it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's because it's oversaturated. What I mean by oversaturated is it's what Godzilla is now. You know what I mean? I love like the old stuff. Good Lord, could you imagine if you would have gave me, 70s Godzilla, like at $30? Yes, please, thank you. You know what I mean? Hell, I mean, like, I would have and again, this is like something, I don't know why they didn't do this. I would have literally bought, if they would have came out and they would have said, this is what we're doing. We're going to have every single Godzilla from every movie, unless like it was the same costume used, like for instance, Megalon, Gigan, and Mecha Godzilla and Terra Mecha Godzilla. You don't need to make 4 of those. You know what I'm saying? Use the same damn mold. It's pretty much the same suit. But I would have bought every single one of them. I would have from the original 54 Goji, which I do. I gotta get that one. I think I need that.
I would have thought you would have at least had the 2014 NECA.
No, dude. Like, I didn't care. Honestly, like, I didn't care as much as I love that movie and I dig the design. Like, I just didn't care for it. You know, like and then, but then again, the horror stories that with you. And goofy eyes and just all that shit. And I'm like, and then seeing the pictures, and I'm like, do I really want?
It's funny you bring that up because I saw some pictures of the Biollante figure, the '89 figure. Man,
and see, and that's the crazy thing because you think about it like this is the way I think about it, at least with the old Showa figures. They're not really difficult. You know what I'm saying? To do. Like, Godzilla had a distinct look in each and every one of these movies, but it wasn't like super overly artistic. Well, I guess they kind of were. I mean, like, Jesus, that Mothra, 62 Godzilla. I mean, 64 Godzilla. Which one? When was Mothra? 63?
64.
64. Good Lord, that's like the best look, like in the entire show series. But look at the King Kong versus. Look at 62. It's not that difficult, right? It's really not.
They just look like Dr. Seuss characters.
And that's how it looked in the movie. Like, it's really, and that's like the beauty of it. But when you do something as intricate as Legendary, that's where I'm like, I mean, there's too much. It's just too much involved with that. That's why I never got one. I got that Sega one from the convention, before everything got shut down, and I absolutely love it. And it's not articulated. It's this solid piece, and I absolutely love it. Love it. And
you want to know one figure I'm just confused why they didn't do for Godzilla? Why didn't they ever do a Godzilla 2000 figure?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me or what? See?
That's like the most maybe mainstream figure I feel like right now with Godzilla. I mean, right now it's actually the 2002 version from the Tokyo SOS, but I'm like, I don't know why companies are making that figure when for a fact, and this is why I've always been confused, and not just NECA, but any Godzilla company. Why don't you do the favorites? Like, right now, in our time, there needs to be more Godzilla 2000 type figures. Brands. How come it took NECA this long to make a Godzilla 89 figure? Why did it take SH Monster Arts so long to do an SH Monster Arts of the 89 figure? There's an abundance of GVK figures, which is great. But that's what I mean. Like Godzilla, like no one. Look, I mean, I don't have a problem with the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla design, the 2001, 2002 suit, 2003 suit.
I do.
But yeah, I know. but I would choose Godzilla 2000 over that suit any day, and I think a lot of Godzilla fans would as well.
I absolutely agree.
And that's why I like the 2009, the 2014, 19 figures. It's because they remind me of Godzilla 2000 a lot.
Really?
So, yeah. The 2014 for sure, but 2019, I just like that design.
Okay, all right. Because I'm like, how does that remind you? They like completely opposite. Dude, it's like, that's like saying Shin Godzilla in 2019 are like, they remind me. Like, no, how? They completely...
it's the bulkiness of their like shoulders and the 2014 spines being as jagged as they are. It just reminds me of like the size of 2000.
Now, I agree with you 100% about the Godzilla 2000 being, first off, I remember when that design, got leaked. Like, that's when I didn't care about spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. I was all over the damn Godzilla forums looking for spoilers. Like, you wouldn't believe. Because, again, we weren't getting Godzilla like that out here. Now, I don't even tell me what's in GVK aside from Godzilla and Kong. I don't care, right? But, I remember when that image leaked for the first time, I didn't know what to do. I was like, what is this? What is this? Like, I did not like it at all.
Spines.
No, but the first thing that I remember seeing was just the silhouette. So we didn't even know the color yet. Like, you didn't know. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, and I'm like, all right, you know what? It's a revamp of Godzilla. Because in my head, I'm thinking continuation from Heisei series, right? This is Junior. And that's in my head. And of course, that's not what it was. But in my head, before the movie came out, the first initial image when Toho was like, "Hey, we're gonna take a crack at Godzilla again because TriStar really didn't do what we thought. They really didn't do anything right." So that design like completely messed me. I was like, "What is this?" I didn't like it. And when you seen the suit for the first time, like in all of its glory, I was kind of still like, I don't know. I didn't hate it, Shin Godzilla. I did not hate it, but I was still like, this. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. But that is literally one of my all-time favorite looks for Godzilla now. Like, I loved it when I seen it in action in the movie. And you're absolutely right. Where is that toy? Now, I will say this. I've got a couple of Bandais that, of G2000. Yeah. I've got about, no line, I think I've got about 6 G2000 figures. couple Bandais. I've got and like different size. I've got like a model. I've got like a bigger dope. Put it together, and I don't know company names. I can't even tell you. I bought these things at G Fest 2001, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been almost 20 years. Okay, almost 20 years. But I remember that the big G2000. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite Godzilla toys of all time. The only problem I had was the damn tail, and I had no idea you used the little, hair dryer, the blow dryer, to mold the tail and pop that some bitch right in the backside. I didn't know. So, I'm over here biting the damn thing to try to fit it. It never worked. I used to get mad. I just gave up on it. I put it to the side. I still have it, but it's one of my all-time favorite figures. The scale is beautiful. It's... I don't know scale, but it stands like a good 1.5 feet, maybe. It's just dope. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's a big boy. I got a Gamma 3 like that. Like, I love these two figures. They're comparable in size. Like, so they're
They're not X Plus, are they?
You know what? It might be. It absolutely might be. But it might be X Plus. I'm actually...
Did you pay more than like $100 for him?
Dude, this was 2001. I don't remember what I paid for my groceries last week. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I did spend a shit ton of money at G-Fest, and I went 2 years in a row, and I got a ton of Godzilla collectibles, and I spent way more than I should have, just, for the sake of clarification of whether we're... but anyhow, I agree. Why didn't Neca drop a G2000? I think that would have rocked. But now, Playmates, and this is what I'm worried about. Is Playmates going to have the Toho brand? Or are they just doing what they got out now and the GVK stuff?
They already do have the Toho brand right now. If you've seen their, their previous figures they've done.
Right.
Now they have GVK. So... But my thing is that going to stay, or is someone else going to take the license after GVK? But the thing is, I don't know, because obviously Playmates scored the license to be able to distribute these Bandai repaints,
right?
These Bandai figures. So I don't know what that really entails. Honestly, I wonder if this is just all part of Toho's plan for reinventing Godzilla.
Yeah, but how do you reinvent when because again, a lot of this stuff, for collectors at least, I'm not running out and buying any of them Playmate figures, except for maybe Shin Godzilla. Like I said, it's just, that's a novelty act. But like the GVK stuff, for instance, when we get to actually see those things on the store shelves and get to, or even better, really good, high quality pictures on the internet instead of the blurry vision shit we got. Distant stuff and names that you had to, expand your damn picture of 1,000 times magnification so you can read something like Nozuki, whatever that even is. Stupid. Until we get to see those things and like better quality pictures, like official pictures from maybe the website, or actually see them in stores, I'm not. I never ran out and bought any of the Jack specific stuff. And I'm not really sold on buying these things. Again, I guess it's the articulation, and I'm not buying them, toys that you would normally play with. I don't want that. If I'm going to get something, I want something to showcase. And I can't see myself showcasing those things. You know what I mean?
I'll probably get their big atomic, the one they were teasing about where the spines are blue.
Oh, that's
that figure. That one though, and it shoots the atomic blast out of its mouth. I'll probably get that one.
Yeah, I mean, geez. It's just such a crazy different world we live in regards to like toys, because we just collectibles. We had some good stuff, man. There's some quality stuff, whether you agree with it or not. In general, not just you, but like and anybody out there, whether people agree or not. For what Neca done, I mean, and granted, because there are some goofy looking Necas, that's absolutely true. But for what Neca done at the price they were doing it at, I gotta give them kudos and credits and a thumbs up. And I'll be honest and say I am gonna miss this, even though I just started to get these NECA figures, you know. But I am gonna I'll miss it because they were, in my opinion, quality at a great price.
Maybe I should put my 62 back in the box and then get it appraised.
There you go.
That's like fix the eyeball and the hand.
Oh man, who's gonna take the reins? Who?
Yeah, I agree. What's next? You know, what is next? And the thing is, I don't think we're gonna really know until after GBK, what's really going on with the toys. But the thing is, and I don't mean that because of the movie. I just think that GBK comes out in May and Comic-Con comes out in July. So unless they start talking about some Godzilla stuff over the holidays.
Oh, don't forget,
because they've done it.
Don't forget, we got New York City Comic-Con. I don't think that's a go, even though everything right now in New York seems to be at a decent spot. But, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, and I don't even want to talk too much about it. But right now, you're speaking of Comic-Con. Where the hell is Comic-Con? That shit should have been going on right now. There should have been, you know, online things. I thought they were going to do something. Nothing is happening. And I'm not even talking about...
Well, apparently Warner Brothers skipped out on the whole thing.
And that's unfortunate. But, I mean, like, just for anything, because Comic-Con is, you get a lot of the movie news, but it's also a comic book convention. You get a lot of entertainment things. You get a lot of toy stuff. But the toy fairs actually are what is going to start ramping up come October, November. You know what I mean? The holiday. And that's where we're going to hopefully see...
July 26th.
That's not where it's supposed to be, man. Isn't that where E3, Xbox E3 is going?
Dude, I have no clue. I'm confused of what's coming next because with all of this IGN stuff of who's doing what, it's like, where's my PS4 announcements for the year coming, for the games coming out? Where's this and that? I'm confused on what's coming around, man, because there was an Xbox One event. Now there's another Xbox event coming out.
Let's have that conversation after this podcast because I will talk to you about that. But anyhow, yeah, look. November, we should see, like by November, we should definitely see more of these GVK figures and hopefully, fingers crossed, get an idea of if Godzilla is going to go forward outside of GVK and outside of just Legendary, if the Toho branded Godzilla stuff will still be happening, whether it's through Playmates, whether it's through Bandai of America, whether it's through SH Monster Arts, or someone new, you know? And that's what I'm looking forward to, because if it is someone new, and before we wrap this up, I'm going to just throw two names out there that you already mentioned, but if it's someone new, let's say like Hasbro or Kenner, then boy howdy, I will be all over that. Because those Jurassic Park toys are dope. Oh, Mattel, that's what it was. Mattel, Hasbro, so I'm going to throw three names. Mattel, Hasbro. I don't even think Kenner's around anymore, but let's just say they are. Kenner, because Kenner used to make Star Wars toys back in the day. But Mattel or Hasbro, any one of them could get their hands on the Toho brand. First off, I think they're in way better shape off the bat because Mattel and Hasbro are humongous world properties. More so than Playmates. More so than NECA. More, you know what I mean? More so than Jack Pacific or... you know, SH Monster Arts. These things are directed at children, but they can make quality toys, quality figures. And I'm telling you this because of things like Transformers, because of things like G.I. Joe. They can knock it out of the park. So, and I think Kenner is still around because they got to be. Star Wars toys are still coming out. So Kenner made Star Wars. I'm not sure I haven't bought a Star Wars figure. Actually, online, I bought one at the last convention. I bought a Captain Phasma. Because I was like, this is one of the dopest characters in this whole new trilogy. And they offed her like that? Get out of here. But I want to own her anyway. But anyhow, that will do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. My brother Chase, thank you for joining me tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And I thank everybody out there for hanging out with us, talking shop about NECA and I just want to say again, thank you, Neca, for what you have given us. Whether you like it or not, whether it's crap or not, I give you massive
At least
props.
I can say, thank you, Neca, for paving the foundation for other companies on what not to do.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am G1, and we are out of here. Peace.